Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome into the building. I'm sorry, it's a later show tonight. Okay, the train is still pulling out. It's just pulling out later. Okay, and when I tell y'all express train ride. If I got to cut you off mid sentence to shut the train down and bring it to the last stop, I got to do what I got to do. It's express train, people, okay? Because earlier today we was over there at In My Opinion channel. In My Opinion, she comes out here and she supports all the time. All the time. She supports in front of the camera, on the scenes here. She's on the platform often, and she supports so much and so many people behind the scenes. So she asked me to come over today. And she asked me to come over and support her on her channel. In my opinion, is into like helping the community. That's her ministry. It ain't mine. Don't email me. That's In My Opinion ministry, and I love her for it. Okay, somebody got to do it. God's work, and In My Opinion is doing it. Okay, she's doing it. Love is Mimi. It's hard to find a little bit if you don't know what to do. So yes, it is. You have to do it. Roy, can you put In My Opinion channel in the chat for me? Okay, so Roy is gonna put it in the chat. And if y'all all go over there and subscribe, I would love y'all. Love y'all. Go over there and subscribe to her channel. And she's going to be doing more lives, more videos. And she's going to help the people because we need help. We got to help each other. Oh, Denzel, I'm so sorry you got kicked out, boo. And people be waiting. You got kicked out and somebody jumped in your slot. Yeah. Denzel, I'm going to miss you. It's going to be express train ride, though. Express. So tomorrow, you hook the internet up right. Don't get kicked out. And this is In My Opinion's channel, everybody. Oh, Julius, you got booted out too? What the heck is going on? Oh, I don't know what's going on. Where y'all? What do you mean? What are y'all doing with your internet? All right, so let me hurry up. You're distracting me. You're distracting me. And it's an express chain. Okay, so that's her channel there. Go and support. She's doing great things over there. We just had an amazing conversation about mental health. All right, so listen, everybody, y'all know what I need, right? I need a choo-choo, but wait, I'm trying to go too fast here. Let me tell you, this express train trending topics tonight. Felicia, you have to do the 7487 behind it. Raya put it in there again. All right. Okay. Of course, girl, love, nothing but love. We love you, boo. And in my opinion, throw your channel in there. Let's help the people find it. We threw it in there a couple times. Good. Okay, there you go, Sandy 2 cents. Love you, boo. All right. So listen, guys. So what is tonight about? Oh, we got they subscribing. They over there subscribing. Okay, in my opinion. Come on, y'all. Come through. So listen. Tonight's trending topic is called No Love. No Love. Now, I don't know why Drew Barrymore got all the heat because there were plenty of others who crossed the picket line when the writers was on strike. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people that did it. But for whatever reason, Drew Barrymore got all the smoke. They struck a match and lit the fire to her and let her burn. They pinned her to the cross. I was like, what the heck? Why y'all being so mean to Drew? Well, listen, now some of her top writers, now that the strike is over, they say, we ain't coming back. I mean, can somebody have a heart? Good gosh. So mean, so nasty. And then the other story that I hope we will get to, super sad. A mother, a father, and a grandmother. They starved the two males in the family, the two boys, and the sisters was eating. One of the boys unfortunately lost his life, 6 years old, and was 18 pounds. 6 years old and 18 pounds. How does anybody become that evil? Listen, I get so weak for my kids sometimes. I tell them no, and then 2 seconds later, I'm like, all right, yes, this time. How do you starve your kids? And guess what? Guess what they told her? You will spend the rest of your natural life behind bars. There ain't even a chance for parole. Check that, bull. Go sit there and rot. Anyway, guys, listen. Y'all know what I need in that chat. What do I need? I need a choo choo. All aboard, everybody. It is time for Wednesday trending topics, okay? And it's called No Love because for whatever reason, y'all don't want to give Drew any love. I'm about to board this platform. Hey, we're here.
Hey, Auntie Diva. Oh my gosh. I was watching the live with In My Opinion and yourself and Juice, and what a show. So, y'all, click the link that I have put in the chat and go back and watch because not only was it a great show, but I think you will really be blessed by what was said by each of the panelists. And it was just powerful. I'm really speechless because powerful. Yes, it was powerful and speechless. I mean, thank you so much, in my opinion, for the opening this door. Not many people do this, and have the passion about it. So the fact that you're doing it and you're actually passionate about it is what makes it even better. So y'all check that out. The link is in the chat. Go support.
All right, the people subscribing. I love it. Okay, come on now. Support, in my opinion, always come up here and listen, guys. Let me tell you. Let me say this real quick. With everybody, what I want everybody to understand. Don't judge us off of our one or two comments off of whatever our trending topics is, or we talking about a reality show. Everybody in this world is more than what you see in the moment. All right. So everybody is more than what you see in the moment. Go over there and support. She is passionate about doing things with helping the people. Okay. Very, very passionate. And I see y'all saying y'all subscribed, and I much appreciate it. Yes, very powerful. It was a good message. We had a good show over there. Okay. Oh, there you go, Denzel. You back in the building. And then also, let me just shout out while we're doing this here really quickly. We'll just roll through this really, really quickly. I want to say Royer has a channel also, okay? Royer's World. Royer's always over here too. Showing much love and much support. There you go. Come on, dude. Come on now. Come on. But you know what? You and Wayne going to stop showing off with all the hair. But anywho, so come on. I whip my hair back and forth. You better come on and show it to the people, okay? Listen, but yes, Royer has a channel too, okay? So Royer will throw his channel in the chat there. If you're not a subscriber, go over there and subscribe. Now we've been beating Wayne down behind the scenes. I've been talking with him because Wayne has a channel also, and I told him to knock it off and start doing what you have to do. Put in the work, okay? So Wayne, throw your channel in the chat there. Don't ask me how to do it. Y'all know I'm still technically challenged, okay? Can't now throw your channel in the chat there, because let's go around and everybody, let's support, right? Everybody support and get to know these personalities. They all come up here all the time and share their love with me. And I truly appreciate each and every one of them, for coming through and making, our shows what they are every night when we do trending topics. So we told y'all we may get it in up here, but for real, we the fam. This the family on here. So go support. And then, lately we got a newbie trying to hang out with us. Yeah, we got a newbie in the building. He's trying to hang out with us. Aces Styles.
Hey everybody. Hey Diva.
Hey. So new young creator on these YouTube streets. Aces, throw your channel in the chat there.
I sure will.
Okay, there you go. Support everybody, right?
Thank you.
Come on. You're welcome. Thank you. Come on, G-Mon 4. The fam. It's the fam up here. It's the fam, okay? Come on now. Thank y'all for all the support. in my opinion, gave a good little message over there today. And we started out by sharing the love because apparently nobody got love for Drew. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. I appreciate all of y'all for going to these different channels and hitting that subscribe button. Let's all support each other and end the last quarter of 2023 on a high note. Okay. Now let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because we got it. I don't know why you're doing this to Drew. I like Drew. Did anybody?
Boo, Drew, boo.
Oh. Okay, so this is a certain age bracket, but many of y'all might have heard of it. Y'all don't love y'all didn't like that movie E.T.
Phone home.
Come on, Robin.
Yeah, but boo, Drew, when your phone home.
Woo.
Phone home.
I have love for Gertie, so no.
Does anybody know anything Drew did? Drew Barrymore.
I do.
Riding in Cars with Boys was an amazing movie.
She did
Grey
50
Garden.
First Dates. 50 First Dates, where she was that girl with this weird type of amnesia. It was Adam Sandler. She would kept on forgetting everything up until the date of her accident. So every day she would wake up and her father would make the copy of the newspaper of that day, have so many copies made for her.
Yep.
Drew's a good actress. I don't
She
like
did Grey Gardens. She's an amazing actress. She won an Emmy for Grey Gardens with Jessica Lange.
Yeah, Grey Gardens was a movie. Yes, it was.
Riding in Cars with Boys when she did that movie with Whoopi Goldberg. So Drew is Hollywood royalty.
Yeah,
blended. The movie blended.
Legacy. Come on now, Hollywood royalty.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, she was in Charlie's Angels. Come on now, you better talk. Okay, so why are we being so mad and angry with Drew? Okay. Oh, come on now. Now let me get into this story. Let me go ahead and share screen. I mean, Drew couldn't catch a break, and this was not the only person that crossed the line. Giving Drew a bad time. So Drew Barrymore head writers won't return for show. The damage is done. What damage? She didn't even go back. So hold on one second. Drew Barrymore's actions during the writers' strike appear to have royally pissed off the top writers on her talk show because they're quitting, refusing to work when the show returns post-strike. A trio of cold head writers. Everybody, can y'all mute, please, while I'm doing this? Please mute. A trio of co-head writers who worked on the Drew Barrymore show pre-strike have reportedly turned down offers to come back and work for the syndicated people daytime program, which leads to production in a hurry-up mode to hire some new scribes. Okay, the writers turning their backs on Drew or on Chelsea. They don't care. They want their names out there. Chelsea Wright, Christina, Liz. And they've been working on Drew Barrymore's show since season 1. Y'all mean y'all wasn't really her friend? No, y'all were not.
Oh, remember we talked about the difference between a friend and an employer. Come on now.
Whoa. Okay. So while the WGA strike was ongoing, however, they could be seen picketing outside the CBS New York City office on multiple occasions. And when Drew announced she was prematurely bringing her show back before the strike was over, a couple of them openly expressed disappointment in their boss, echoing the backlash Drew received at large. Can somebody go? Oh, Drew, I'm sorry, girl. Of course, Drew ended up reversing course and ultimately held off on having her talk show return to the air, as did several other hosts. But clearly, the relationship between Drew and her head writers was damaged. Not too long after that, the writers people, they ended up striking the deal, and the picketing writers were given the green light to go back to work. Now that Drew's without her key writers, it's unclear if this will affect her official return date, which was just announced as October 16th. Their departure certainly throws a wrench in the works. Oh, I feel bad for Drew. I do. Hold on one second, y'all. M. Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, she didn't just cross the line. They were checking employee bags for buttons supporting the strike. She got beside herself. Ooh,
what the NLRB would say about that?
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you, Smith. Thank you. Robin,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Are
Can
you
we
giving me
get
the
some love
floor?
for Drew?
Can we do what?
Get some love for Drew.
You can.
Oh,
I am not part of the we in this instance, and I will tell you why. Let
okay.
us be clear. I am unapologetically pro union for several reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
my reasons are not limited to the specific workplace. It has to do with the history of the American labor movement, which has given us a whole lot. The American labor movement is responsible for you getting your paid vacations. It's because of the American labor movement that you have occupational safety and health standards. It's because of the union movement that there is a minimum wage, even though most union members do not get a minimum wage. It is because of the labor movement, especially right here in New York City, that if you're a hospital employee, you get every other weekend off, nurses and everybody else who works in the hospital. So I am unapologetically, happily pro-union. Now, when we talk about Drew Barrymore, there's two Barrymores we're talking about. There's Drew Barrymore, the executive producer, and then there's Drew Barrymore, the actress. In this sense, she's management, so she's, the producer. When Drew said that she was coming back, what she said was, I'm coming back, I'm doing my show, and by the way, I don't give a dang if you are a union member who has worked from day one on my show to make it successful, to get me Emmy nominated, even though I got cut down to a half hour from an hour. It is because I have said, I'm going to come back to work and I'm going to do my show without you. So Diva, yeah. So now they're saying, yeah, you know what? You want to do the show without us? Do it. Because they have exacted a particular degree of loyalty to her and she turned her back. Imagine if Drew was in the same situation. Remember, Drew is also a member of SAG-AFTRA. It's only by the grace of the fact that she's not acting in her capacity as a talk show host that she's not in a conundrum. And it was a definite slap in the face. These writers are standing on principle. And in the labor movement, there is the word, as you can see next to my name, solidarity. And it's a little simple song they sing. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. We got to stick together. And if you're going to act like this, you're going to turn on me, you get no love from me. That's my position.
Woo, woo, woo. Wayne, do you have love for Drew?
Well, I'm union. I'm pro-union.
Oh.
So
For the union makes us strong.
Look for the union label when you are
buying.
Y'all remember that song?
I do remember that song.
Our wages going to feed the kids. I'm sorry, go ahead, y'all.
So, I mean, I don't have no love for her. When you look at thousands or hundreds of how many other people out there that didn't go across it, so because that's what you do when you make those decisions. When you're in a union, and you have those decisions to make. She made a decision that she thought was best for her. Okay, unfortunately, they didn't think it was best.
250 people working with her. She didn't want their families to starve.
Well, I'm sure a whole lot of other people belong to things with, she's not responsible for them. I mean, that's it. You don't say, hey, I can't pay y'all because we're on strike. Okay? No, I don't see, I see, there's government assistance out there. They aren't writers or whatever. They support. So that's why they have the unemployment line. They got the soup line. You do what you got to do. So, no, I ain't got no sympathy.
All right, so we done spoke to two people, chat, and there's no love for Drew. If you got love for Drew out there, can you let me know in the chat? Do you got love for Drew? # love for Drew. Sebastian, what are your thoughts? Because so far there is no love for Drew.
Well, y'all ain't gonna like me today.
All right.
Listen, Drew Barrymore is a distinguished actress, okay? She is an Emmy winner.
Come on.
She is an executive producer of her show.
Uh-huh.
She is a legacy who
Yes.
has made a legacy for herself.
Yes.
I could care less what union members have to say when there are 250 employees who need to feed their children at night.
Come on.
These union members, these are the same union members who last time I checked were eating on sushi yachts. I'm not forgetting this. I could care less what they say. Drew, and I know some people are going to say, oh, she forgot where she came from because she's part of SAG. Well, listen, she was an actress. She used to be an employee, but she made herself become a boss. Instead of you complaining constantly about your pay, how you do it and everything, how about you make yourself become a boss too? Drew needs to contact some of these colleges. They will be gladly to fill her with some young students, not some raggedy union workers who are going to disrespect her, not wanting to come back for her show. These college students will be glad to intern for you. They will do a good job, Drew. Don't worry. Drew Barrymore is an icon. She has been on multiple of my favorite movies: The Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates. So many things. E.T., you're right. And that movie Blended, about the blended family. I met on a holiday trip. We are not going to do this to Drew Barrymore. She stood by them. I love her. We're not going to do this to her. And she needs to make sure her employees eat. Okay? This is the issue I have with these unions. Yes, you get your little pay, but is that enough to take care of a family? Yes, you get your little pay from your union dues, but is that enough to take care of a family? I don't participate in this type of stuff. Like
Oh my God.
I don't partake in these type of unions. And trust me, I'm all for workers' rights. But one thing is, I'm not with it when you're messing with another person's bag and their children's food, their children's education, the house that they live in. Shame on everyone who here wants to chastise Drew Barrymore, who wants to make sure that her 250 employees, who probably have kids, eat at night. Shame on everyone here.
Shame. Thank you, Sebastian. We got 2-1. 2 people got no love for Drew. Actually, it's 2-2. 2-2. Because I got love for Drew and so does Sebastian. Come on, let's talk about it.
Love your back, though.
Yeah, Aces, you're up. How you feel about Drew?
I feel kind of split down the middle, to be honest. On one hand, I feel like she's a Nepo baby in Hollywood. So her lived experience is so much different than the average person. I feel like she didn't really understand. Not to say that she wasn't wrong, because she was dead wrong for dogging her writers out, right? Like, for instance, Trevor Noah, he paid his staff before he left The Daily Show. He paid his staff during COVID out of his own pocket.
He did.
You know what I mean?
He did.
Other people, and I think other late night hosts, they were doing a podcast and they were raising money. There's something that she could have done. She has too big of a platform to just feign ignorance. However, because of her mom being neglectful when she was younger, and she really wasn't given the guidance that she needed to necessarily make those decisions. You know what I mean? Like, she's been very open about her issues as a child. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I feel like she tried to make that apology video that nobody was really checking for. So I don't know. I'm split down the middle.
I got you. Thank you. Luciano said, Miss Diva, where are these writers getting jobs if they are not returning to the show? Where they're not screaming poverty? Were they not screaming poverty when they was on strike? I'm trying to tell you, but you know what though? Them interns gonna come in there and bust it down. I agree, Sebastian. Get you some interns, get you some college students, and get you some other writers who want to come through and work. Don't do that to Drew.
And some international writers, Drew. Don't worry.
That part. And how about this? She messed up and then she didn't start it. So now she didn't start the show. Y'all still want to punish her? That ain't right. Leo, What are your thoughts? Any love for Drew?
You know what? I'm right there with Aces. I got love for Drew. Drew is fine. I don't really know her movies like that, but I do know her legacy and I do know her in the industry. But hold up, though. Hold up. She the one got in this business. She the one that made the decisions that she made. And because of the decisions that she made, she went against the union. You don't go against the union like that. Just like come up with other ways. Do a telethon, do a podcast, do other ways to support your crew. Because when you support, because this is the thing, right? When I worked I was the bartender at a prominent restaurant, right? And I would come in the morning time and I would speak to all the people in the back of the house. I'd be like, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's happening? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So when my orders came through, my orders was first. You know why? Because I was gracious to the people in the back.
Right.
And that's how you make things move. See, she is not schooled in the way of how people live at the bottom. It wasn't about the fact that she wanted to support these 250 people. It's the way in which you make your moves. Oh. It's the way in which you make your moves. Then she don't have to worry about, she got generational money. She got generational clout. She is an icon. But it's about the way you move in the way to support yourself and others. She did not have to go against the line to be able to get what she wanted. And she messed up, and she gotta live with that. She gotta live with that.
Did you see Nano's comment?
Business decision. Poor business decision.
Oh God! But she made a mistake. Can we forgive her?
Ask her Lord Jesus Christ and her Savior to forgive her. Thank you.
Oh my God. Felicia, what about Drew?
Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Let's be very clear. Drew Barrymore is Hollywood royalty.
Yes.
Unlike anybody else on this panel. She comes from a family that built that Hollywood world, and they understand how it works.
Yes.
So she gets no pass.
Oh my.
From me, because even if she wasn't clear on how it worked, she has real intimate relationships with folks who would easily take her call. I'm not just talking about the writers, but who were your writers? I'm talking about the specific writers. I don't know who they were, but she should have known. Maybe they weren't interns or first years or second years. Maybe they were established. Maybe they left other positions to come and support her to launch her show. And so it sounds like if though she may have offended some folks.
Well,
So she has to pay the consequences of the business decision. You go ahead, Leo, that she made.
Come on, Sheila. Give me 1 second. Come on, Sheila. It was not an unforgivable sin.
Oh, I'm not saying she sinned. I'm just saying that I totally support Leo. She made a business decision that came with consequences that she has to pay now. And if she's good about it, maybe it won't be too long.
Absolutely.
Oh, good gosh.
She's Hollywood royalty.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. In my opinion, any love for Drew?
Yes, I do have love for Drew. Here's the thing, okay? We all fall down.
Yes, come on.
We got to get back up.
Come on now.
And so if you're a believer of God, then you know that he's not too big to fix this. And she didn't do anything to hurt anybody. I don't think she did this maliciously. I don't. So I feel like we might be being a little too hard on her. Let's, that he was what I seen cast that first stone.
So her 250 employees have to suffer. They wanted her to do a marathon. A Jerry Lewis marathon, Sebastian, a podcast. They said she should have found other ways to support the 250 employees.
But would she have needed 250 employees if she did a podcast?
Exactly. So people would have to be fired. That's what these people wanted.
Mm-hmm. All right. Denzel, I'm coming to you and then Dustin. Any love for Drew, Denzel?
Listen, I love Drew, and she's legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah, she's a legendary actress. She's
Uh-huh.
Hollywood royalty, and I I do feel bad for her because I'm like, she wanted to start her show, she wanted to come back, and then people were, saying some hateful things, and then she pulled back, and then now they doing it again. It's like she can't win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She can't win, and it's like, give her a break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if she messed up, okay, she messed up. None of us are perfect, okay?
Right.
None of us are perfect. So I mean, forgive her. That people might not agree, but forgive her. And life is too short, and it's to me, it's a little ridiculous. And again, if she messed up, she messed up. None of us are perfect, and we should forgive her. And and just just cut her some slack. I mean, come on.
Cut her some
And
slack. Yeah.
right, that's it, and that's all.
Thank you, Denzel.
You're
Sherry,
welcome.
yeah. This one you might have hit the nail on the head with this one. The reason people are against Drew is because the optics of a rich person going against the union. Maybe that's what it is.
Some of these writers are rich too.
That's facts. That's facts. 3 writers left for show. They will easily be replaced. Yes, they will, Savannah. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Any love for Drew?
I'm a big fan of Drew Barrymore, and I'm very upset that this is happening to her. I love her talk show. I'm a big fan of talk shows in general, but her talk show is a different story. And it really hurts me to see somebody that's trying to do her job and return to her show after the writer's strike. She was nice enough to postpone her return date until after the writer's strike was done. So let her return in peace, and let's find somebody else to do the writers. I do not. At this point, I do not. I don't mean to sound rude. I I know that writers have a life as well, Diva. But it really hurts me to realize that all of them people that worked with her since season 1 of her show that don't realize that she has a as a as a boss, she has a right to make a change. If they don't want her to come back because of the money, she can find somebody else to give, or the network can find somebody else to give. I'm sick and tired of all these shows getting postponed just because of this writer's strike.
All right now, come on now. I heard you.
I'm sick and tired of it, Diva. I'm sick and tired of it. This is sick and tired. This has been 155 days in the making, and I hope she returns back here pretty soon because I'm so sick of it.
She coming back on the October the 16th, and the writers all is well now.
If she really cared about those 250 employees, she would have taken some of that generational wealth money and paid them. And their kids could have ate. Their kids wouldn't have no problem eating at night.
That's family money. You can't just touch family money like that. That's family money. You can't just touch family money like that.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, you can't, because some of them are locked up in a trust. Some of them have certain conditions.
Come on now.
Okay, yeah, right. Conditions. You're going to think, long as Drew Barrymore has been in the industry, you know she got money. She probably got more than Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah paid his staff.
Trevor Noah's got more money than she does. Like an almost.
We not counting her pockets though.
Yeah, we ain't gonna count nobody's pockets. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't doing that. We ain't
not doing that.
These writers have money too.
That part. Okay, listen. According to Sebastian, You know, we was taking a poll here on who was going to give Drew some love and who was not giving love. Sebastian said that the people was giving Drew love win. We won tonight. I don't know how y'all think we won? The people.
What's the score? What's the score?
It's me, Diva.
Can I say one thing?
Wait, give me a second, Robin.
Denzel and Dustin.
Wait, now go ahead, Sebastian. Let me count. Go ahead, Sebastian. You said it's me, it's you. That's 2. Who else?
In my opinion.
Okay.
Denzel. And Dustin.
It's 5.
That's
boom.
Split.
Oh, it's split, right? Split. Who jumped the train?
Oh, Ace said she was in between, so that counts for us too.
Can I say something really serious though?
Go ahead. I love it.
One of the things that's missing is really nuance about the whole notion of strikes is that there are people who bargain together for their working conditions, their pay, and their benefits. If you take a survey, I don't know how many of us have worked, and we know that the cost of living has increased, inflation has increased. Well, the pay has not been commensurate with. The rent is too damn high, especially where we live, and it's really about being able to eke out a living. When I graduated from college, really back in the day, if you made like $25,000 a year, you were doing good. Now you need to come out making in the 6 figures if you want to really just live decently, especially in a city like New York. But yeah. I think really, we need to really consider the nuances, and really what is happening is people are not striking out individually, meaning, they're not solely fending for themselves. It's a collective, and they just want to just advance themselves. And remember that when unions came into effect, it is because of labor unions that there became a middle class. And that is very much, I think that we're in a space now where there is a very minute portion of the country that is truly middle class, because for the most part, most of us are either too rich for poor or too poor for rich. Ain't no middle ground. That's it. Thank you.
Hold on, everybody. Nano, a good idea. I have to learn how to do the polls. I'm gonna figure it out this weekend, and I definitely will start to put the polls in the chat. Let me just say this though. Unions have been in existence, and then I'm gonna move on to the next story because this is truly got to be a express train, right? Unions have been in existence for decades.
Over 100 years.
Right. Okay, but let me finish. Okay, so over 100 years. And you're saying that pretty much still there's people that do not get fair pay.
Yes.
Do not this, that, and the other. So I respectfully say, and that's just me saying that. Nobody has to agree.
I say, remember, you're as a nurse, you know what? Remember how much nursing aides used to not get paid, or home health aides until the unions came in. Let's talk about the farm workers who give you your fruits and vegetables. They needed to be organized because they were getting paid less than slave labor.
I'm not saying that happened, right? And now they're getting paid.
It's happening.
What I'm saying is we got to come to the now. And
I'm in the now.
But the now is people are still saying we still don't get paid enough,
which is why they have the union, dear.
But what are they doing though? You said 100 years in the making.
Okay, let me tell you what they. Okay, let me answer that. Now, and I know you want to move on. Let's look at the writer's strike that was just settled. The things that the management, if you will, the studios wanted to do. They wanted to not have the residuals for screening. They want to reduce the number of people in the workroom. They wanted to use AI. There are a whole lot of different things. And over the 5 months that they struck, the union actually came out ahead of their target points, because the truth is they were able to show the level of exploitation, the low level of pay that the studios were willing to relent and to actually offer for the fair work that was being offered, and especially when you juxtapose it against the people who are pulling the strings but not really doing the work. And that's why. And let's move on. We should have a separate discussion because I think this is really an important thing for our time, in my opinion.
We can have a separate discussion one day. I got to get my mind right because I get it, and I did nursing, and all I'm saying is the fight remains the same repeatedly, and they said the definition of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I don't get it. Units have been decreasing, and so has the pay. I think the pay has been decreasing with the unions in place. I don't think if the whole world was unionized, I don't think that that's going to mean that everybody is going to all of a sudden get all the pay that they want. When these people go out and fight, I shouldn't have to step out and fight. You're getting paid.
Mm-mm.
It should never. That's your opinion, Robert. I'm giving mine.
I know.
Let me finish though. So okay. I feel like that if I am paying you to do a job, it should never get disrupted. I should never get to that point. Your existence to me, in my opinion, should be that you are always looking at the numbers, looking at the books, and making sure that all is going well in my world and having meetings with us. So when we talk to you and bring it to you, there's no fallout, that you're correcting the stuff that we're bringing to the table. And in New Jersey, there are no mandates in nursing. They've been trying to fight for it for a long time across the board. There are some states outside of the union that has mandates in nursing. Right. And so then there are some unionized hospitals that have mandates in nursing. Now, all ICUs across the board, period, I don't care what state you're in, you're not supposed to have more than 2 patients. Now, that is just a rule across the board. But then anything outside of that, it all depends. But I'm going to move forward. Because and like I said, if you love the union, God bless you. I'm just not 100% down with the unions. I think the unions can be revised and updated. But we'll keep going. We will move on. And it's like even and then there's unions that some of them don't get you no more of a raise than the raise that the state has anyway. So you're taking money out of my check, and I'm getting the same money that the state said I'm going to get for minimum wage anyway. I don't make sense to me, but that's me. Unions are one of the reasons the kids aren't doing too well in school. I cannot right now. I'm moving forward to the next story. I guess we can have a whole separate conversation on unions and that whole story. Much love to Drew. I hope, forgiveness is on the way for Drew. I want to get into this last story. And this last story is very sad. I'm trying to see which one has what I want to show really quickly. This is not the one I wanted to bring up first. But there's a mother. The grandmother was involved. The father was involved. And they starved the kids, but the girls were fine, eating and everything, and the boys were not in school. I'm gonna let you listen to this. I'll read some, and then we'll talk more about it.
Show that he's still remembered.
They didn't have to know the boy.
It touched me, coming from a parent. I have a 6-year-old.
To feel the impact of what police say happened to him.
Probably the saddest thing we've ever had to deal with.
The Flagstaff community in shock and in mourning after police found a 6-year-old boy unresponsive and malnourished inside this apartment complex.
The child was extremely malnourished. He didn't look like a 6-year-old.
Police responding to the apartment near Cedar and 4th Street Monday afternoon, trying everything to save him, but it was too late. They then turned their attention to the 3 other children in the home, a 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 7-year-old boy. Police say the 7-year-old was also extremely malnourished, so medics took him to the hospital.
We're investigating further why the female child was allowed to go outside and go to school, but we don't know why the two males were held inside.
So they were not going to school?
They were not going to school.
Police say the parents, Jose and Elizabeth Archibeque Martinez, and their grandmother, Anne Marie Martinez, admitted that for the past month, the two boys were kept in a small closet because they were, quote, stealing food and would try to sneak out at night to eat. All three adults arrested, facing homicide and child abuse charges.
For something like this to just come out of the blue is extremely troubling.
The three siblings now in DCS care. A spokesperson there telling 12 News they got a report involving the same family back in 2013, alleging the victim's sibling was being abused. But they say the allegations were unsubstantiated. And after the parents voluntarily completed in-home services, the case was closed. Now, with a new case just beginning, the Flagstaff community wishing someone would have seen the signs.
And it's evil. It's an evil act to be a parent and do something like that.
And as you can imagine, this is an extremely difficult case for the first responders, especially for the officer who tried resuscitating the 6-year-old boy. Their bosses are now providing mental health counselors to help them cope. We're in Flagstaff. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Very sad. The case already went to trial for the mother because they're doing them all separately. The mother actually pleaded guilty. So that's why her case is really done. She pleaded guilty, probably thinking she was going to get a lighter sentence, but the judge threw the book at her. Life in prison with no parole. So an Arizona woman was sentenced to life in prison for starvation and the unaliving of her 6-year-old son. Her name is Elizabeth, who pleaded guilty to the unaliving to the M in the unaliving of her son, and she is not eligible for parole. So an Arizona woman who pleaded guilty to M in the starvation of the unaliving of her 6-year-old son was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole on Thursday after witnesses described the horrors of the tiny closet that reeked of urine where he and his young brother were kept and denied food. Elizabeth's lawyer had asked that her sentence include the possibility of parole after 35 years, partly because she had agreed to plead guilty to first-degree M and child, in 2020 in the unaliving of her son, Deshaun Martinez. But the judge, Ted Reed, said that while her expression of remorse was genuine, her heinous, cruel, and deprived behavior warranted imprisonment for the rest of her natural life. One police testified Thursday that she had never seen anything as horrific. Okay. 29, who briefly took the witness stand to testify on her own. So Elizabeth testified on her own behalf, and she's 29. Thursday, she said she blamed herself for her son's unaliving and fully accepted whatever sentence she received. A huge part of me died along with my beautiful child, she said. Not a day goes by that I do not grieve. I am so sorry. Elizabeth was charged along with the boy's father, Anthony Martinez, and grandmother, Ann Martinez, who have pleaded not guilty and are being tried separately on M and child, charges. Elizabeth's public defender, Christine Brown, suggested Thursday that the other two were primarily to blame for the abuse of the two emaciated boys. An autopsy determined Deshaun Martinez, who weighed just 18 pounds, left us because of severe starvation. Authorities found him unresponsive after Ann, and this is the grandmother, called 911 on March the 2nd, 2020, and said she thought her grandson was not alive. The matter of, him not being here was listed as a homicide. The boy's parents initially attributed their son's malnutrition state to medical condition and ingesting diet or caffeine pills. Eventually, they told police they kept him and his older brother in a closet for 16 hours a day and gave them little to eat. The brother survived. The boy's confinement was punishment for stealing food while the parents slept. Police said the two sisters, ages 4 and 2, were found healthy in the apartment where they all lived. The police department testified during Thursday's sentencing hearing that on the day of Deshaun's body was found in the family's Flagstaff apartment, she examined the 21 by 25-inch closet where the boy slept with an orange piece of plastic on the floor and a foul, awful smell of urine. I have never seen something so horrific in all my life, she said. She said Deshaun was just bones. His face was completely sunken in. It was just like a skeleton. She said his brother didn't fare much better. His bones were protruding from his back. I could see his ribs, she said. The deputy attorney, Michael, said he decided not to show the evidence photos during the sentencing hearing because they were so disturbing. It is hard on anyone who has to see them. Listen, the baby Elizabeth was addicted to methamphetamine at birth and had a traumatic upbringing and suffered from mental illness. She said her husband and mother-in-law inflicted physical and emotional abuse on her. She felt powerless to do anything about the situation. Brown said Elizabeth told her during one visit to the jail that I feel more free in here than I did with him. You know, the story goes on, y'all. I will they're all the ones that are surviving are in foster care now. This is just so sad. It's so unbelievable. Now, she's claiming it was many years ago in New York. The name of this woman is slipping my mind right now. But I want to say the daughter, also, it was abuse situation. The daughter in that situation was unalived. And the mom was saying that it was mostly the dad because the dad was, abusing both of them. Wayne, what are your thoughts in this situation?
I think that the grandmother, the older lady, I think she's totally responsible. First of all, the mother of that child, I ain't no doctor, but she looked like she got Down syndrome. She looked like she had all the appearance of Down syndrome. And you see how this woman, you could have talked her to jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. She said, you see how she said, was talking about her time, the time she was going to serve. She said, I feel better in here than out there. I think this girl was coerced. I don't think that girl had the mental capability, and the son, if that was her brother or the other child, I think they're all manipulated by this mother. The mother is too, because that girl, she completely just like pretty much, I deserve this, I get what's point. She was just too giving on just making herself guilty. I'm sure she was, but I don't think she had the mental capability of she could have been talked into anything. That's just my opinion, just by looking at that girl, because there's no way a grown person, like I'm talking about her mother, which would be the grandmother, could sit by and watch this happen. And not be able to tell her daughter, no, you don't do this. It's something, it's something all kind of fishy with that. That girl, I'm not saying, as far as the sentence, I just don't think, I just feel bad that if this woman is mentally ill or have some kind of autistic related disabilities, and she's going to jail like that, that's to me. And when I say that, as far about autism, I know what I'm talking about. And she sounds just like an autistic child or child with Down syndrome that you could have just guided them in what to say, and everything. I'm done.
All right. I it gotta marinate in me. Robin, your thoughts?
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute button. I have this is very sad, very emotional. And you know, I'm already hyped right now, so I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to get like start talking about unaliving folks and why they need.
Yeah, yeah. Sebastian, your thoughts?
This is so sad.
It's very
This is
sad.
so sad. And you know, certain people get life that don't even deserve to be alive. I don't get how someone could do something like this. Children are so innocent. And for you to do something like this to a child, it worries me about what you can do to an adult. It worries me what you can do to babies. It worries me what you can do in general to our whole society. This is so wrong. This won't be the last sad. I'm so sad, but this is very sad. But this won't be the last story we hear about something like this happening, because these type of things happen almost every single day. Children need to be protected. And I understand some people say, well, that's what social services is for and stuff like that. But I don't understand this. How the hell were these kids not in school? How the hell in all these things? If social services were so good at their job, they would have made sure that these kids are fine. What happened with kids not going to school? Why are the two girls not saying? Why didn't the two girls say anything about in school? The thing is, I feel this. I'm glad she's getting. Well, I'm not. I'm mad that she's getting life, because trust me, she deserves the DP in my opinion. I hope the boyfriend or whatever he is, the husband, I don't remember, and the grandmother get the same sentence, so they can reflect. So, since they're not going to be not with us anymore, they're still going to be in our society, so they can reflect harshly behind those bars of what they did to these children. This is outrageous. The system failed these kids. Even the kid who's in the foster care system, I'm very scared for how he's. I'm very scared for like how he's gonna cope with this growing up. And as the police officer said, the other one would practically be a skeleton with just skin on it. I wonder how this kid looks like. Hopefully, he's getting nutrients. He is.
Oh, I'm sure they're watching the kid now. I think they are.
Well. I hope they're watching him well.
Yeah, I think they are. This is my major problem with her. Unless she can tell me she never stepped foot outside, I don't get it. I don't get it.
And that's not the other thing, Diva. For me, people who have no like, the thing is, I think someone mentioned that she may suffer from a mental illness or something. But even if someone suffered from a mental illness, what they've done does not it's not vindicated because they suffer from a mental illness. They still did something, and they still must suffer the same consequences as either if they did not suffer from a mental illness or if they did.
Well, I'll tell you this though, right? We got to give her credit because the other two pled not guilty. She went ahead and just pled guilty from the start, right? So
she was probably thinking she was going to get less time, Diva. She thought she was going to get a plea deal, maybe.
Yeah, she might have thought she was going to get less time, but either way, right? She did plead guilty. These other two pled not guilty, which is like what is shocking to me. So now you're going to make us waste all our money and do a whole trial and everything. You don't want to own up to your piece of what happened here. But for the prosecutor to say that they didn't even want to show the pictures because it's going to be so traumatizing to people. These kids were not just in the closet for 1 month starving.
I agree.
They were not. It was longer than that. And then all I can say is that now with social media, now with you live in a building and you got neighbors. I don't understand, unless you want to tell me, which she didn't, right, that you never stepped foot out this house. You love your sweet beautiful baby so much, you're going to get some help. Let me tell you, there's a true story. I don't have time to show it today. I want to say it happened in Philly. Y'all can Google it. There was this mother driving down the road. Her kids was in the back car. Some person on a dirt bike lost their mind, jumped on her car, kicked the back window in. The baby's in there. She stopped that car, got out the car, got in the man's face. That man pulled out a GUN, and guess what? She stayed in their face. Now, I'm not saying, that was right, because she could have got hurt or whatever the case may be, but I'm telling you, that mother was protecting her kids. So my thing is, if that was your sweet, beautiful baby, there was no way, no how, you couldn't slip a piece of paper out the window, help, I don't know, something. I got to get to, in my opinion. In my opinion, what are your thoughts? You know what? Before, in my opinion, did she drop? Let me say this too. The two boys were older. So you were even in the hospital giving birth to these other ones. The behavior that you saying you with the way you was treated, that didn't happen overnight. So when you was giving birth to them other ones, you couldn't say, help? I don't know. I'm confused. In my opinion, I was coming to you.
Yeah, I tried to hit the mute button and it knocked me all the way out. So let me tell you something. This was saying, children are innocent and they don't deserve to be treated like this.
Mm-hmm.
These people are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a special place in HE double hockey sticks for these people. They deserve to starve for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did these babies.
Amen.
If you have a child and you don't want that child, there is safe haven laws that are put in place that you can give these children up to prevent this from happening. The mere fact that she wanted somebody to show her mercy when you didn't show these babies mercy. 16 hours locked in a closet, barely eating. That baby was 6 years old, 18 pounds. I have 2 8-year-olds and a 9-year-old, and they're almost 100 pounds. Make that make sense. Like, was they not going to the doctor neither? Like,
couldn't have been doing nothing.
I don't understand this. I really don't. And why was the other children, the girls, not saying something when they went to school?
The girls are young though. So that article, I gotta look at the date on that one. So the update. So this happened like I gotta go look at the date.
It happened in 2020.
Right. So it happened.
And she got sentenced this year.
And she got sentenced this year. But the kids at the 2020 article was only 4 and 2. So, I mean, and they probably didn't know anything. That was probably normal to them that their brothers slept in that closet. They probably didn't really even know and was processing what was going on with their own brothers. Because getting that, starvation to that level, it did not happen in 1 month.
No, that was years. That was years of starving those kids.
Yep.
And to know that those babies' organs had to shut down, because that's what happened. Those babies' organs started shutting down. You had to have warning signs that that child was sick. And you sat there and let him pass away. And then you called. I'm telling you, it's a special place.
I see what you're saying, Rebels. She said those monsters just wanted the benefits and not worry about those kids. It's very sad. And so Tracy and somebody else, they saw that video that I'm talking about. And yes, they did catch that man. But yes, that mother did. She didn't get out their face because she was like, you could have killed my babies in the back, kicking the back window, and my babies are back there. Dustin, your thoughts?
My thoughts are I'm going to say this, Steve. It's really sad and really very. I'm glad they're getting their justice now, but I wish it was sooner. And because now we're gonna have one that's no longer with us, and he's hopefully in a better place.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah, may he rest in peace. Aces, your thoughts?
It's horrible. I mean, I agree with everybody here on the panel. It's heartbreaking that people can do that to their own flesh and blood. You know what I mean? Like, children don't ask to be here. And again, like, you know, in my opinion, so there are safe havens. You can drop a baby off at a fire station or a hospital, or, you know, there are adoption agencies. I mean, it boggles my mind. I don't have kids yet, but it always boggles my mind that parents are abusive to their own flesh and blood. Like, you brought that baby into this world. That child didn't ask to be born. So my prayers go out to those babies, because, and you know, during the 2020 pandemic, I don't think any kids were going to school, so they were stuck at home with those monsters. I'm just glad that they're out and they're safe now.
You are correct. You are correct. You know what's so sad though? The brother that survived, it's like it's like a road this one has to go through, right? Like you're gonna remember the memories of you being in that closet with your brother all day, all night. Y'all had a piece of plastic on the floor, was peeing on each other, literally watching each other melt away. It just saddens my heart just even talking about it.
They're gonna
He
need
probably
therapy
saw his
for
brother
sure.
take his last breath.
Yeah, he probably did, in my opinion. Probably did. And then the poor cop, you go there and you see that, and you're trying to save this kid. I know we have a lot of cop stories over here, but the cops, you know, there's a lot of cops, a lot of EMTs, the stuff they see.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's very sad. The stuff they see. The stuff they see.
Do they offer therapy to kids in foster care?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, good.
They do.
Good.
I just this is a lot. Leo, your thoughts?
My same thoughts. This is a lot. This is a lot to take in. These people are monsters, right? They predators. These people are really. So I'm trying to clear up things in my mind. So it was the mother and the father in the home, Diva?
And the grandmother.
And the grandmama.
And the grandmother was in the home. Where they do that at? Like, what in the actual F is going on here? I just, what was the reason for this? For just a simple act of inflicting cruelty to these children, to these babies? This is too much. This is too much for me to deal with. My brain can't even process this. So I can just imagine how these children, the girls as well as the surviving boy, will be able to process this. Because as a grown woman, I can't process this.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on to treat kids so cruel. You won't even feed them?
You're punishment for stealing food? How can you steal food in your own household?
I just can't. I can't process this. Diva, I'm going to have to let it marinate on me too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Felicia?
I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. Denzel?
Yeah. Yeah, this is really sad. You know, and so I just want to make sure. So the mother, the grandmother, and the father, they were all in the same house. Wow. And you know, it's the two girls were eating, but the three boys were not.
Two boys.
Two boys was not eating, and the two girls were. Correct? So it's like, what in the world? And it's like, okay, if the two boys were stealing food in the house allegedly, they should have just put them on punishment, and that that's it. But for them to starve them like that's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's messed up. Some parents, if they see their child stealing food, they probably put them on punishment. Like take privileges. Privilege like privileges away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never heard
Food.
that. Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I never heard of like in your own house how you.
Oh no, it's some children that do that. I have seen it.
No,
I've seen it.
I hear you.
And I mean, it's some people might not, some people might disagree, but it is some children that do that, and I have seen it, with my own eyes.
There's some families that operate like that. Or is that what you're trying to say? Because
Yes, that's
I
what I'm saying.
grew up. If it's there, you want it, eat it. Like
Yeah, but see, this is the thing, Diva, and this is a popular opinion. Some children, because some children, and I'm not saying they were bad. No, I'm not saying they are bad. That's not what I'm saying. But it is some children, and believe it or not, it's sad, but it is some children that do probably steal some food at their own house. I mean, it does happen. It does happen. People saying, well, you can't steal food from your own house. If listen to me, Diva, and everybody. People saying, well, kids can't steal food from their own house. Okay, I get that. But if they didn't ask their parents, like for instance, Diva, if you had like, I don't know, if you had like some food, right? If you had like your favorite ice cream or whatever, and you told,
let me cut in for 1 second because I am trying to do express train. So let me cut in for 1 second. Let me say this. I don't understand it honestly because I grew up in the house. Just the only rule we had, my mother had was don't be taking the last drink of the orange juice and then don't tell nobody. And then we think we're going to go to the refrigerator and have some orange juice and it's not there. You just had to make sure to say that the milk is gone. I used the last. The orange juice is gone. But stealing food. And the only other thing is like, when we got older and you would go out maybe and buy yourself, your own little tray of Chinese stew or whatever. Don't be eating my last chicken or my little food that I had left over and you ain't tell me. But
that's the point, Diva. That's the point.
Yeah. But stealing food, never. Like whatever was in our house, it was just about don't take the last without telling nobody. Like I'm about to eat this last whatever, y'all. Y'all good? But
we already ate breakfast, dinner, and lunch and dinner.
That part, Leo. So these people was just Resident Evil. And I do get that there are individuals who are in relationships. It's so hard on YouTube because you can't say certain words, but I'll just go ahead and say abusive relationships, right? But we are living in a day and age where you have a lot of opportunities or more opportunities to cry and scream for help. So my thing is, just like you went to that court and finally said, lock me up. I feel free now than I ever been. You could have felt free and all of your children could have been alive and it could have been a better scenario than this. When you live in a building and you could have been slipping notes down doors and all kinds of other stuff. I would like to hear from her more. I want somebody from 2020 Dayline or something to go to the jail and interview her. Thank you. Our budget is tight, but I'm about to shut my mouth. I want somebody to go interview her because I'm not 100% buying I'm not. I just can't. You can beat me. Listen, I'm going to be unalived by you before I stand by and watch you do anything to my kid. And I promise you that.
Can I feel?
Kid, you ain't touching the kid. Give me 1 second, Denzel, because
I'm sorry, Diva.
1 second. Now, this is the person. This case is very, very old. Okay, I don't know. Like, if you from New York, you might remember this case. But the daughter was unalived. They initially charged the husband and the wife. I want to say, if I remember correctly, the wife got off because pretty much they said Stockholm syndrome, and that the wife was really a part of the abuse also. But this was many, many, many years ago. Listen, Denzel, I want to close out. What did you want to say? Yes, Robin. What did you want to say really, really quickly?
Oh no, I'm sorry for taking so long. I was trying to, finish. I'm sorry for taking so long because I get long-winded sometimes. But no, I agree. I was just trying to make a point, but I do agree with you. I do agree with you. Listen, kids are hungry. Let them eat. Let them eat. And so for the parents to do that wasn't right. And I see, I have seen these type of stories time and time again, and it's really sad. Like, protect these children, and the mother, the father, the grandmother. I hope they suffer in prison, because it's a special place in hell for them, because that's evil. You don't do that to your children. And I'm praying for the rest in peace to the boy that was unalive. Rest in peace to him. I'm praying for the other 3 children, and I hope they get therapy, and I hope the right kind-hearted people will raise them. And they are evil on Diva. The parents and the grandmother, they evil, and we gotta stay prayed up, Diva, because it's really, stuff like this is really emotionally draining. And that's it, and that's all. Sorry for my time, Diva. Love you, and I love y'all.
Love you back. No worries. All right. Good night, everybody. It's supposed to be express train. My producer, okay, told me I'm overtime. For real. Express train. But I want to thank you for being here. Good night, everyone. Listen,
good night, everybody.
It's a tough. Good night. Definitely praying for those kids, and I'm praying for Drew also. Hashtag have a heart. Good night, everybody.
Love you, Diva. Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.
Good night, everybody.